Hi, everyone. I'm here today with Jeff Scheuren. Jeff is one of our contributing authors for the Mortgage Manager Mastery book, a book for new and experienced sales leader in the financial and mortgage industry. Jeff wrote a terrific chapter titled Driving Results, Aligning Sales Execution with Organizational Objectives. Jeff is EVP, President, and CEO of Fulton Mortgage, a division of Fulton Bank. Hi, Jeff. Thanks for joining us today. And I certainly loved your chapter and want to discuss kind of the big idea that you would like our listeners and the managers to take away from your chapter.
Thanks, Pat. So the core message of my chapter is that great sales managers aren't just motivators. They're strategic multipliers. Their role is to take the company's strategy and translate it into daily actions, goals, and behaviors of their team. So when managers that alignment between corporate priorities and field execution, performance becomes clear, consistent, and scalable. And what do I mean by a strategic multiplier? So those are leaders who amplify corporate strategy through their team's daily actions, turning goals into execution. So think of them as the amplifier that makes leadership's vision heard clearly on the front lines.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. And so we don't want to have these free agents running around. So you really make a really good point. So what would be, I guess, the action step that you would recommend for managers to implement?
Yeah, so well, one simple action they can take from the start is to meet with each loan officer and connect their business plan, their personal business plan directly to the company's objectives. So when people understand how their efforts support the bigger mission, whether that's improving margins, growing purchase share, or strengthening CRA performance, accountability becomes natural and engagement naturally follows.
Well, it also raises this whole issue that each entity has their own objectives. And I think it makes sense that you have to align with that. You just can't assume that it happens by happenstance. It doesn't. So that's a great point, Jeff, that you're making. So if you had to look out and you had the crystal ball looking out, the next few years, what opportunities do you see on the mortgage sales leadership side?
So mortgage leadership is evolving, and it's evolving from production oversight to culture creation and strategic execution. So as the market becomes more complex and data-driven, the managers who are going to succeed will be those who align people, process, and purpose, not just chasing numbers. So my chapter gives them a roadmap to do exactly that through clarity, rhythm, and purpose-driven coaching. Some examples of that in action would be if you're focusing on margin. So coach LOs on pricing discipline, turn times, higher margin products. If it's market share, track the purchase to refi ratios and drive stronger builder engagement. If it's lending and CRA, build partnerships in underserved markets and celebrate inclusive production.
Well, so true. And so we'd have to do a podcast on this whole topic because it deserves it for sure. Any other takeaways that you want to share for the listeners and watchers of the video?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, driving results in mortgage banking today isn't just about production goals or volume charts. It's about alignment, clarity, and purpose. When managers act as that strategic multiplier, they create that connection between a company's vision, team's daily execution. And that's when strategy becomes something more than a corporate slide. It becomes culture. So my hope is that readers and your listeners walk away understanding that true leadership isn't measured by how much pressure you apply, but by how much clarity you create. And when you align your people with the organization's mission, when you coach with purpose, and when you reinforce with consistency, performance stops being unpredictable. It becomes repeatable, scalable, and meaningful. So that's the future of mortgage leadership, not just managing the numbers, but multiplying impact through clarity, accountability, and a shared sense of why it all matters.
Well, Jeff, you said a powerful message that I really appreciate, and I know our listeners would too, because it's so true. And I want to thank you for sharing with us today. And also for any of the watchers today of the video, you want a deeper dive of what Jeff's insights were, certainly go to mortgagemanagermastery.com or Amazon to purchase the book. Thanks so much, Jeff.
You're welcome. Thanks, Pat.